This is my guide on the fastest way to get muscle.
No shortcuts, just endless sweat and pain. Every struggle is the path to gain. Thunder in my chest, drive like a train. Reaching new heights, we will sustain. Even when shadows darken the road, remember the fire that inside us glowed. Victory tastes sweeter when you know you climb the mountain, carry the rise and grind, the world won't wait. Every step feels a stronger state. Pushing higher, never hesitate. In this world of life we dominate.
Now throughout this video, I want you to keep in mind, this is not the easiest way to get muscle or the most comfortable way to get muscle. This is the fastest way to get muscle. Now there are two ways to gain muscle as fast as possible. The first way is probably the way that a lot of people are not here for, and that is steroids. Steroids will get you muscle really fast, but you also will experience lots of health side effects and probably die in early life. And the second way is science-based training methods and diet. The first tip is you want to train 6 days a week. And for some beginners that might be difficult, and they might want to train 3, 4, maybe 5 days a week. But again, this isn't a video about the most comfortable or easiest way to gain muscle. It's about the fastest way to gain muscle. And the reason you want to train 6 days instead of 7 days is because it's been shown in studies that one rest day per week is actually beneficial to muscle growth. The second tip is you want to train each muscle group 2 to 4 times a week. And so for me, I do a upper-lower split. So each muscle group I am training about 3 or 4 times a week with that 6 day, 1 rest day a week. Now, if you're someone who trains like high volume and high sets on each muscle group and only does 1 muscle group a day, I would suggest that you stop doing that, because it's been shown in studies that doing multiple muscle groups per day for lower amounts of sets is far more beneficial for muscle growth. And the third tip is you want to train to or close to failure. And what muscle failure is when you're basically unable to do another rep no matter what. So even if it was for like $1 million and you weren't able to do a single another rep, that's complete muscle failure. And usually you want to be within 3 reps of muscle failure, but if you can, the most beneficial way is to just go to absolute failure, to where you can't do another rep. And the fourth tip is you want to be doing 4 to 10 sets for each exercise. And so if you're like me and you're doing an upper-lower split, so you're doing all of your upper muscle groups on your body one day, and then all of the lower groups of your body on the second day, then you probably want to be doing about 4 sets per exercise. But if you're someone who's doing maybe 2 muscle groups or 3 muscle groups per day, you probably want to be doing more closer to 10 sets per muscle group. Now the fifth tip is you want to be adding weight and or reps each workout. So let's say you're able to bench 155 for 10 reps the prior workout, then now this workout you're going to want to bench 155 for 11, 12 reps, or maybe you up the weight to 165 instead. Every workout you want to add weight and try to get those reps back up, or add reps with the same amount of weight as the prior workout. And a great way to do this is actually my training split that I have a video about on my YouTube channel. And the reason you want to do that, and the reason you want to also keep track of that on some piece of paper or maybe some app you download online, is because not only does it let you know you're gaining strength and muscle, but it also is very motivating to see all those numbers go up. Now, diet is a very important thing when it comes to building muscle. So as the fifth tip, you want to be eating 1 gram of protein per day for every pound of body weight you have. So for an example, I weigh about 150 pounds. So if I weigh 150 pounds, that means per day I want to be eating about 150 grams of protein. And usually you should try to spread this protein out through the whole day in a bunch of smaller protein meals. So take, for example, you eat 5 meals a day, and they're all kind of smaller meals, but they all add up to about 150 grams of protein, or whatever the amount of protein you have to eat. And again, this isn't the easiest way. This is actually a very complicated way. But again, this video is not about the easiest way or the most comfortable way or the simplest way. It's about the fastest way to gain muscle. Now, to be gaining muscle, period, you have to be in a calorie surplus, which means you're eating more calories than your body is burning. And usually, if you don't want to get really fat, you want to be eating about 350 more calories than you're burning. And it really depends on the person. Some people only burn like 1,500 calories, where some people like me might burn like 3,000 calories a day. And you want to just figure out what amount of calories you burn per day, and you want to eat 350 more calories than you're burning every day. Now, of course, you will always gain some fat as well if you're in a calorie surplus. And the goal is to gain as much muscle as possible while gaining very little fat, but you're always going to gain a little bit. And you're going to bulk up, and then what a lot of people do is they go in a cut where they eat in a calorie deficit, which means they're eating less calories than they're burning. And what they do is they keep eating a lot of protein and they keep working out to where they keep all of that muscle, but then they're losing that fat while also losing a tiny bit of muscle, but it's a very small amount usually if you're doing it right, and that allows the muscle definition to come out a lot more without that layer of body fat over it. Now, one thing that's incredibly important to bodybuilding or just gaining muscle, period, is you have to be getting the right amount of sleep. And I know that's something that a lot of people don't want to hear, especially people who are pretty busy, but I swear there are so many people who are doing everything right, but they're making the mistake of not getting enough sleep at night. I would suggest anywhere from 7 to 9 hours of sleep, 8 being the most optimal amount of sleep that you should be getting while you're trying to gain muscle. And the reason is because when you're sleeping, your body repairs its muscle a lot more than when you're awake, and especially those last few hours of sleep where you're getting like fully rested. Those are the hours when your body is going to be repairing itself the most, and so those are the hours that you want to be asleep and resting and getting your body fully healed with all that protein and calories you've been consuming. And the last tip is the absolute most important tip when it comes to building muscle, and that is you must stay consistent. And the reason is because it takes just a few days without training for you to start losing muscle. And I would go as far as to say in 2 weeks you could lose half your muscle without training. So that was my guide on the fastest way to gain muscle, not the easiest or simplest or most comfortable way to gain muscle, but the fastest and most efficient way. So if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit the like button, and if you like my content, make sure to subscribe. God bless you all, and goodbye.